Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend, it's Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island Series 8, Episode 51. Chris, you know, I'm such a hypocrite because in the afternoon, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I've had that talent show shit. It's going to be no drama at all. And then first look drops. I'm like, okay, I'm back in. Got myself a bottle of wine. I'm like, right, let's do this. But where do you want to start on tonight's episode?
There's all sorts in there, Dave. I mean, I didn't understand the Ekin-Su and Davide argument. That would just seem petty, stupid.
Fake.
Fake. Yeah, I didn't get it. We got the back end of it, and then it sort of started, and I was like, have I missed something here? What's going on here? You know, and Davide sort of shoes her off again, a little bit derogatory, I suppose, in some respects. But then she was just, I didn't get it. She's like, when she's supposed to be angry, she's just smirking. And I'm like, this is all for screen time, all this, Dave. You know what I mean? I'm you know, they're still going to win in my book.
Yeah.
Saying, but that was just a weird, a very childish sort of whole scenario. I was like, I don't get it. And then they were friends again. I was like, this must do the other Islanders' heads in if they're doing this all the time, Dave. It must do.
I'm sure you've known couples like that, and it just drains you. You just like, when an argument sparks up again, you're like, oh, fucking hell, I can't be arsed with this. You know, just out for a good time. And yeah, the thing that I found really weird, this started in yesterday's episode, didn't it? Where we were discussing it yesterday and saying, I don't actually know what he said, but it was something that was misinterpreted. And then it seemed to escalate a bit. Davide's not got a clue. Now, Davide's conversing in not his first language. So I think it's a bit unfair sometimes to pick him up on, you know, some of the things that he might say. I still maintain, you know, pre-Casa Amor, maybe a little bit after that, yeah, he did say some cutting things, but I haven't seen that in the last week or so. So he didn't say anything to take the piss for me. And then she just seemed to take offense to it. But then this escalates and escalates. And then Davide gets stubborn himself. He's like, I can't be arsed with this, which I completely empathize with him. And Ekin-Su is annoyed. Again, we don't hear what was actually said that set her off. And, you know, she just switches at one point when they're sat down, because I don't think Davide's going to move. And then she's just like, all of a sudden, she's all smiles. It's like, oh, it's fine. It's like, Chris, that would do my head in. Would be out at that point.
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't understand any of it, to be honest. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, this is going to be another duffer episode. I mean, after this, we get them in bed. Looks like Andrew got a full oil change by the looks of it, Dave. I think it was that way around.
What would the manicure? It's not a manicure, is it? What would the salon treatment be?
No, I think she said manicure.
Okay.
Tasha, I think she said manicure. So I don't know whether
that was just like, you know, hands and stuff.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I think that's what she implied, that it was a bit of a, I don't know which way the hands were going, Dave. But
right, okay.
Jackrabbiting going on underneath that sheet. But there you go. But I tell you what made me laugh, Dave, is we get the lads decide, you know, not like they're actually told by the producers to do this, but to, you know, treat the girls with a bit of respect. It's, you know, and some of the guys have, and plenty of them haven't. But they decided to do a massage. And Gemma, oh my God, I'm going to have to shave. Oh my God, I'm going to have to shave. We're going to have our asses out. I'm like, hang on, you've got bikinis on that are like dental floss. Your asses have been out at every shot on the camera. And you're now bothered about the person you're sharing a bed with. There might be a few strands of hair somewhere there shouldn't. I was like, this is just, it's a panic thing. And oh my God, I mean, it is like that. It's funny, Dave. But I was like, this is, come on, Gemma, read the room. But the whole thing again, Dave, with that, it was just a daft little thing that she said, but the whole thing with that was like, this seems a setup. And then we'd seen the BT about Luke, and I was like, where are we going with this? But yeah, it was just a strange one. But I must say, Dave, we've asked loads of people, have asked, we need more challenges. We need more challenges. Fuck me, was that Mile High game. That for me was the worst game of the series. I thought it was terrible.
I think the way they edited it was pretty terrible as well. It just seemed to drag on. And it's like, okay, we get that there's a challenge. And I can imagine if you're in there, you enjoy these challenges because you're so bored. I mean, sitting by the pool for 6 weeks, it's a bit much, isn't it? For the first week and everything, it's great. Or even first few weeks. But Christ, into, what about the 7th week now, actually, aren't we? So I imagine they really like the challenges. And I think, we love the challenges like the Twitter game, which we're not getting this year.
Yeah.
But stuff like this, okay, you can show it, but edit it down. What was the one where they were sliding along the bar and knocking the drinks into the barrel kind of thing? That was
that was good.
That was edited down though. You only got really a few minutes of screen time. But here it was because they went through every fucking couple in laborious details. Like they're really padding this out, because they don't have too much else to show, I guess. But that was the problem for me. It wasn't the challenge itself. It was just they made it so long and they showed us every bit of every couple and every decision. And, it's just dull.
It was dull, and we were talking about on Discord, and I said, this is definitely where Luca's going to see his arse. I thought this is going to be it. Gemma's going to do something that he doesn't like, even though he'd sat there and let the other girls do it. I'm not saying he like grabbed any or anything, but he certainly wasn't complaining. And then as soon as Gemma went and licked like Adam's chest or whatever she did, and you can see with Gemma, Dave, because when she came down the slide, me and Sam were talking, and I said, she looks so awkward. This is completely out of her comfort zone. This is not what she wants to do. She's tried, even the rapping thing is not her. She's quite shy person. I think, reserved. She's quite measured in her approach on things. That was not her. And you could see how awkward she was. And he saw his ass, and I'm like, fucking hell, again and again. And Ekins, who said it, she said, I don't think he like. And he was trying to say he wasn't bothered, but he was. And I think I'd read online a few things tonight on Twitter and that. I don't know, Twitter isn't always a barometer of everyone, but you can usually gauge what you're feeling, so you can see different comments. And a few people have defended him and said, I don't think he did anything wrong. But I think the problem is, Gemma's had 7 weeks of him overreacting to the littlest of things. So I agree with what she said. I completely agree with everything that she did. However, I can also see from the other point of view, like, well, I didn't see what was wrong. But it's like, yeah, but she's had 7 weeks of having to defend herself against anything. There's a gust of wind, or she looks in the wrong direction to one of the guys, and Luca's there with his fucking throwing his teddies out the pram act and doing all that, just being arsey. And I thought his whole behaviour tonight was just fucking wrong, Dave. Completely wrong. And I was Team Gemma. I'm sorry. I know these people saying, I don't think different, but it's like, but he's done this continually. And I think she's just had enough of him being a knob. And she said, are you 12 years old? I agree with everything she did, to be honest, Dave.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. And it's interesting when you get these flashpoints, you get lots and lots of different ways that people have seen it. Chris, I think people are coming round to our way of thinking that he's a bit of a bellend. Just, and although it's not always been obvious, and by that I mean, so Australia season 1, where you had that Eden, and he was pure toxic masculinity personified, and he's ready to get into fights and everything, and you could see he's probably abusive on the outside, which was proven later after the show, so to me that is very obvious, and it's like a physical threatening thing. With what Luca does, it's a much more subtle thing, and everyone's on their best behavior. Chris, this show, as much as we moan about it, and, we say, oh, fucking hell, we see the same things over and over again. Year on year, it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. It's this massive cultural phenomenon, so it is huge, and people are on their best behavior. So you're looking for these clues as to what people are really like. And I think the clues for Luca have been there. I'm pretty sure we've talked about it. I don't know about week 1, but certainly week 2 and beyond, these clues have always been there, and this simmering rage that he's got underneath the surface, he's trying to keep a lid on it. But, at some point, the mask will slip. And I think, again, the mask did slip a little bit. He didn't go full on like he would on the outside. He's very aware that the cameras are there. He goes from when Gemma's challenging him, telling him, he's acting like he's 12 years old. He goes from, no, look, I'm absolutely fine. To me, Chris, gaslighting. He was fucking lying through his arse there. He was just, trying to smile, trying to brush it off, which we know he'd do. That's what he does, but I think he goes from smiling, trying to brush it off, to storming off, and I'm taking the mic off, and I'm going to walk out, and I'm going to sit on the front porch like a fucking 6-year-old boy who says he's going to run away from home and sits at the bottom of the garden. It was just, we finally got to see a bit of the real Luca, I think, Chris. And like I say, people see this all different ways, but there's a couple of people now come out on Reddit basically saying that Luca's bullied him, absolute bully boy, at school and at university as well. And from their perspective, obviously you can't. It's on Reddit, so people could make it up. Of course, I guess there's always that there, but I don't see what your motivation would be there. So yeah, I just think utterly distasteful character for me.
Yeah, and you know what, Dave? I think you made a really good point yesterday, which I've been reflecting on. So if I go back 20 years, and you were talking about Luca, I go back 20 years, in the early 20s, I just got married, we had Jordan and all that, and I can look back and go, yeah, I was quite immature. I was before that. I was still immature at 43, Dave. I still have my moments. We all do. So I know we're doing it from the point of view we're taking the piss or whatever. And there's a lot of inherent stuff that you just take with you throughout your life, that biases or the way you approach things. So I think what you said was a really good point about him. As much as what he's doing is wrong, and it's on a massive platform. One, I don't want him coming out and getting absolute fucking death threats or anything, because people are just fucking idiots online and horrible. I don't want any of that. And like you said, you're so right. He will become a better person off this, hopefully. If he doesn't, then he's a fucking idiot. But if he does, then he will reflect back on this and go, you know what a dick I was. And Adam fucking Collard come out with some great advice when he's saying to Paige, he went, you think it's bad in here, wait till you go out and you're out in clubs, and you've got to trust each other, because you've got people wanting to talk to you all the time. He's been there, got the T-shirt. He's been a cock, Adam. At the moment, he's done nothing wrong. I'm not excusing what he's done in the past, but
he's fucking Love Island Yoda. He's coming with all this great advice and everything. He's the Love Island whisperer. He's not the villain that I was hearing about in this first couple of days of him being in here. So, yeah, I've been really surprised by Adam.
Agree, and he was completely right. He gave a little bit of a window into. He said it to Paige, "When I can't control who you're singing," and that's right, because people are going to want to spend time with you. People are going to want to sell stories about you or whatever. That's just the way it is, unfortunately, in life when you're a celebrity. But I think with him, I really hope for him that he does grow, and they might end up having a great relationship. And I do hope that Gemma's mum comes in and has a go at him and says, like, you need to, not in a nasty way, but you need to, this is not right. This is the way you've treated it's not right. I don't think it's right. If I was a dad and that was my daughter in there, I'd be dying to get in there to speak to him. Just to say, look, mate, even you putting her arm around him, that's fine. A few people have said it to us, like, oh, you go at him a little bit more. We're going at him because of what we see. We'd be going at Gemma if she was doing it to Luca. It's not exclusive. We just call out what we see. And I can also see that, we've got the be kind thing and all that. I completely agree with that. We're taking the piss, whatever. But I do hope there's a duty of care. We said it about Jax. We weren't happy with what he was doing. But when he left, I was so pleased that he looks happier. Hopefully they've given him, the help he needs and everything. And I hope for Luca, he gets that. Because what doesn't help is, like, Dammy, he's backing him up. I agree with you. I agree. And I'm like, mate, no. We all look at different sides. Damn, it's his boy, the best, tight as anything. Yeah. And they've been together doing, in some respects, they've done the Mean Girls thing, Dave, that we've seen on, like, Baxter and that at times. But it wasn't the right time. And then he did say it when he wasn't with Luca. no one's in the. He was sort of like what he said to Luca wasn't the same as what he said on the camera. He was like saying, "I agree, no one's in the right here. Get Fuller in." And I was like, "No, Luca." He was Simon off the in between as well. He just stormed off, like you said. And I said a great story that my brother used to do was when we were kids. My mum and dad would say to us, "Right, I want you to go and do all the cleaning. I want you to do all this stuff while we're out. I want hoovering, doing well. To do loads of us. It was a big house. There's 5 of us at that place, 9 of us now, brothers and sisters. But there was 5 of us. So I'm the oldest. So obviously I was the one who was getting a clip round the ear or was getting a bollocking. Our Adam would do nothing. He would just sit there eating, going, fuck you. I'm not doing anything. So I'd try and pull rank then and go, and me being a soft ass, I go, you need to hoover. You've got hoover. I'm not doing it. Right, well, I'm calling. And he'd go, well, I'll tell you what, if you make me do it, I'm ringing the police. And he would literally go to the phone, do 9-9, and on the last 9, I'd be jumping across the room like I was defusing a bomb or something, or I was trying to save someone from taking a bullet. And he'd be fuming, and then we'd have a bit of a brawl and everything. Like I think you said, you would have a bit of a kick-off. And he was a nightmare for it. And we always laugh about it. That was his gag. But and then I got to about 12 years old and used to think, why am I bothered? I'm not the one ringing the police. But I would think the police are going to come and arrest all of us. You know what I mean? And then once I just left it, went, go on then. And he rang him. And he went, oh, and he shit himself, put the phone down. And then he rang back. And when my dad was in, and he got a fucking bollocking. But for years, that was like his trigger. And it was a trigger for me. I was like, oh my God, we're getting arrested and put in prison for life. But then you get to the age where you're like, hang on. So it felt like that with him. It was like that. Like you said, he's got his case and he's going, but he's looking over his shoulder waiting for someone to say, come back. And he's like, so look, he needs a lot of growing. He needs to change. And I hope that he watches this and does change. So in my opinion, Gemma's younger than him, but he's very, very childish and insecure. And we're all insecure, Dave. I can certainly say I've had my moments in the past. So from a serious point of view for a change, I hope for him, looking at it from a different perspective, actually grows up, because it's not a good look for any relationship he has outside Love Island if he's not with Gemma.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, though, Chris, the be kind thing goes both ways. Now, for me, again, I think I can kind of see why Dami is defending him, because, like you say, he's his boy. He's going to defend him. And he's not necessarily seeing all of the little clues. I still think things like this with Luca are more subtle. Again, the mask is up. He's still very aware that he's on reality TV, very aware he's on Love Island, very aware that they've not formally been made boyfriend and girlfriend. So, they're probably going to lose a few votes for that. It's the things like he says, oh, well, no, I'm absolutely fine. I'm absolutely fine. It's a challenge, isn't it? I can't stay mad at you. And that's it. That's the slip up there. I can't stay mad at you. So, and she picked up on it for a change. So she was like, oh, so you were mad at me for doing a fucking challenge on Love Island that we all have to do.
Yeah.
What was it? He said something else as well that was a real clue about that controlling personality. I can't remember what it was now, but he said something else as well that was just, oh mate, you need to have a word with yourself. And I said yesterday, Gemma, from evidence, doesn't have the best track record when it comes to men. She comes across like this incredibly sensible person with a head screwed on, but choice in blokes, she doesn't see a lot of these red flags that are there.
Yeah, I think so. But that could also be an age thing, couldn't it, as well, Dave? That comes with experience, doesn't it? We've all been there. She's only 19, to be fair. And then what a turnaround! What a turnaround! In the way I feel about it, it's great with Love Island when you get stuff like this, because I think more than anything, it's like I look back and think, oh my God, was I that bad at 20? Was I that bad? You know what I mean? Like, because it's just. It's a great show and we love talking about it, but sometimes you've got to sort of tackle things head on, because we've got a couple of emails slightly calling us out there, which we'll read in a bit, but it's a different perspective and I've got no problem with that. We don't always get it right. We don't always say the right thing. We just, I can be the worst for opening my big gob. So I get it. If someone wants to call us out and say you're out of line or whatever, that's fine. But then we all should be accountable. So no, look, it's fucking brilliant. We're at episode 51 and we're still talking. I didn't think it's been slow this week, but this was an episode tonight where I was dying to get on the podcast, Dave. I really was. And sorry, I was going to say last thing on it is for what I thought he's done, to be honest, though, Dave, if they had any chance of winning it, he's just fucking threw that away because they're not going to win this. I'd be amazed if they do.
Yeah, I don't think they've had a chance for a little while. I still think Davide and Ekinsu, unless something really bad goes off, I can't see them losing it. I mean, I'm not even sure if they're going to stay together as a couple. When they sat down for the public vote, he had another little snipey comment, didn't he? Oh, maybe the vote's done us a favour or something like that. So I just wonder what the next move is going to be, because a kind of abusive personality might tomorrow be like, look, I'm really sorry, I was in the wrong, I didn't know what I was doing, blah, blah, blah. It'd be all the apologies. And if she accepts it, they just get back together. But the way it finished tonight, it looked like, they were still both dug into their corners and they are no longer a couple now.
It's interesting. But then he did smile at her because I think someone said, I'd seen that. There was comments on Reddit as well, Dave, about, and Reddit isn't the be all and end all, Twitter isn't, but when she was doing the game, Gemma, he did sort of push her to the side. I think he was doing it as a playful thing, but people...
I didn't see that. Yeah.
It wasn't like he didn't throw her, but basically when she started, obviously Lucas third in, she came to him. I think she was going to come to him to sort of tease him to go to like Adam, but he sort of pushed her along and went, get down there. Now, it might be that he was embarrassed. I don't know. I can't defend him one way or the other, but I did see it. And at first I was like, oh, that's a bit fucking naughty. But I don't know. There's been a big thing about me shoving her. So I'd have to watch it again properly because I can't honestly comment and be honest and say, yeah, he was doing it aggressively or not. I don't know. But I did at first go, oh, that seemed a bit much. So yeah, I'll have to watch that again.
Now that you've said it, right. So it did. I remember it now, yeah. I don't know how to interpret it though. I think the jury's out. I mean, that could have just been a jokey thing. I don't think that was an abusive thing.
No, because the thing is, he's getting enough pelters as it is, isn't it? So it's not a case of us just going all in and absolutely laying it on it. But I did initially think, oh, it's a bit thingy, but I'd have to watch it again. I didn't one way or the other. I couldn't. If he's done it like that, that's wrong. But also, I'd rather watch it again and then say so. Anyway, Dave, we've got some emails and they're good uns. There's some good uns here. So this one's from our friend Mary. Oh, he makes my blood boil. Hey guys, thanks for another great season of podcasts. First of all, me and my partner Colin watch very little shows together, but we do watch Love Island. Colin got me onto your podcast. So please drop him a little hello. So hello, Colin. Thank you for the support, you two. I could cheerfully slap Luca on the junk, just like Ekinsu did, only much, much harder. He was so obviously in a mood and all the girls saw it. I was almost willing to sit on the fence with him. But tonight he went too far. All the girls have to do with these challenges, but in fairness, every challenge is completely pointless and so cringe. But there is no way Gemma gave her all. In fact, I want to talk about that in a minute. Yes, that was the thing that got me. It give it her all to it because she's a lady, doesn't put herself out there like the other girls. He definitely will get his wish soon of getting his wish to be voted out. And I feel sorry for Gemma because she deserves it. She has turned opinions of her around. Anyway, that's my rant. I really hope they have time to say hello to Colin, as this he would really chuff. Keep up the good work for the final week, Mary. So thank you, Mary and Colin. That's brilliant, Dave. Tag team of a couple together, listening to us and watching Love Island. So brilliant.
Brilliant. And be like Colin. Loop people in. Get your partners listening as well. And rate us and review us as well. That'd be great.
Good or bad, yeah.
Off to the toilet, just grab their phone, just cheeky little review there.
Yeah.
No, I saw you picked up on the same bit that I did there when you read it out. So yeah, it was the thing about her going for it much more than anyone else. Bull fucking shit. No way. Yeah. But it's all just in his head, and that was the thing that actually, set off some alarm bells for me. It's like you're the type of person who's going to cut her off from her friends on the outside, and they won't be able to go out in public without the fucking eagle eyes being on you. That was a really quite disturbing comment, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what got me more than anything riled up. I forgot about that because it was look, Paige won it, and Sam even said Paige is going to win this. I thought Paige did the Danica was quite provocative at the start. I felt quite sorry for her the way she was going for it. But but then I thought Paige was the one that would have got, if they'd had the heart monitors on, she'd have got. I thought she went for it more than anyone, but she didn't do anything. Adam was like, he even said, didn't he? You elevate her or whatever. There was nothing untoward. It's a part of the joke. He even laughed. He said, "Why am I getting sort of turned on watching her, strapping other guys, like laughing?" and I didn't think anything, but in Luca's perspective, Gemma went too far. And I'm like, but as I said, she was that was the one thing for me where I was like, no, you are well out of order. You are just looking to put her down and to justify your argument here because you saw your arse. So, yeah, no, great email. That. Thank you, Mary and Colin. So this one's from Elaine, and it says, from across the pond. Greetings to my two favourite Brits. I've listened to several of your podcasts for a couple of years, but this is my first email. I felt like it was time to let you both know that I appreciate your willingness to hear different opinions and share them on the podcast. I was surprised to hear someone email in and have an issue with you calling out toxic male behaviour. Personally, I think that is a huge red flag. Last year, you called out Faye's shit behaviour. It isn't only the boys' bad behaviour you speak on. Unfortunately, this season, there just seems to be an abundance of shitty behaviour from the males. You could say that there are too many dicks on the dance floor. There has been a lot of triggering behaviour this season for a lot of women, and if it wasn't called out, it would be even worse. So I just wanted to thank you guys for calling out bullshit, regardless who the cunt is. With love, Elaine.
That is awesome.
and this one's from Jason, Dave. So I do want to talk about this one as well. Thank you, a brilliant email. So this one's from Jason, and it says, Paige and Luca. I don't know, I saw Paige's point. She's 100% right. Luca's an absolute dick and probably has been so condescending and rude to all the girls. And have you seen Gemma and then looked at Luca? You guys have even commented on his ugly tattoos. He had no muscles and he's got that weird face on him. He's completely insecure and desperate to stay relevant with Gemma. So I can completely see from Paige and the other girls who also go that Gemma is completely out of Luca's league. He was acting like a tool in tonight's episode as well. And for a moment, I was hoping Gemma would leave him. But of course, she eventually crumbled. Hope Damien and Indy finally go. But of course, Danica is on the way out. I'm shocked Adam and Paige were at risk. So that's a different email. So go on, Dave. Sorry.
No. So I think that's what you said, isn't it? You said you completely get what Paige, you get her point. And I think I was just saying that I'm not on either's side because, yes, Paige did have a point, but what I found weird is how she made a massive deal of it. You know what I mean? It's like, he thinks he's better looking than I think he is. It's all subjective, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I'm still confused by that, like why she made such a massive point. And the only thing I can think is, Paige is kind of nice to everyone or nice to most people, but she's just probably had enough of Luca's shit. And maybe that's why she was just, making a bigger deal of it because he's just genuinely pissing her off.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the comment about Jason about what we said about his tattoos and that. Well, his Muhammad Ali tattoo, his mint, Dave, on his arm. I don't remember saying anything about his tattoos, but because I've just had a sleeve.
I don't remember calling him. I don't remember saying he's got ugly tattoos. That doesn't seem like.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Say.
Jason, obviously, he's listening, so it might be something. But I've just had a full sleeve done. So I was very impressed with that Muhammad Ali one. I know he's got Einstein as well, but I don't know. And that's not backtracking. I can't honestly remember. So if I have, then you're right to call us. But I think great emails again, Dave. 3 great emails with different perspectives slightly on the way you see it. And that's what it's about. We don't get it right. We are not the oracle of, we're right, we're wrong. We just say it how it is. If we watch an episode, we react to it. That's it. Whether people agree or not, people can change. Look at we've done a full 180 from Gemma. You listen to them first 3 or 4 episodes, I'm pretty sure I'll be cringing because Gemma's become quite a likable character, but we only do it as we saw it. They were forcing Gemma on us. I've read recently an OK magazine, which I mentioned from May when she was coming in, and there's a full 3-page spread on her, which that's not just done by accident. No one even knows who she is. Michael Owen's done it, showing all this stuff. That's completely done to get the public on side. It's a PR trick. That's why we called it out. But now she's grown into, someone actually really like Love Island. So that's fine.
Yeah, we just go along with the roller coaster, even though we know a lot of the stuff is set up behind the scenes. We just love the drama, don't we? We love going along with it. So, and people are grey, aren't they? They're kind of, no one's 100% great and 100% or 100% bad. So, we just react to the behavior at different times. And so, yeah, that's why I love it.
Good
Even
stuff. Good
51 fucking episodes in. We're nearly there, Chris. Nearly there. Thank fuck.
Well, to be fair, people should analyse me and you because our friendship has lasted for 51 episodes again, Dave. So.
How are you getting on with Love Island USA, by the way? Still watch 3?
It's fucking rubbish, Dave. But anyway, so far it's rubbish. Yeah, I watched 3.
I will just say, because I honestly I just don't know when we'll get time to record anything on it. So I've watched the first 3. I have to say, Ian Sterling does not fit into that American show. I don't think he's been on great form in the UK one, but he's trying to call out like literally American relevant jokes. But he's like commenting on the Californian house prices and stuff. And it's like, surely that's a 20-year-old joke. That's not something new and fresh. He's not giving a fresh satirical look at American culture. So him on that show just jars with me a bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's funny. Some of the things he said, I'm not just agreeing with you, but I'm the same when I've watched it. And I don't think for the US listeners, they're going to understand, Dave, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I'm with you on that. But I agree. I've only watched 3 and it's been a struggle. It has been a struggle. There's been a little bit of drama because I've made notes, Dave, just in case we do hop on. But it's not been enough yet. But that always happens. So it could be an absolute banger of a series as it goes on. So I will persist with it, definitely. So anyway, big thank you to everyone. Right. Yeah, whatever. Everyone who supports us. Thank you, guys. Get over to patreon.com/CD RealityCast. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. And if you want to follow us on social media @CD RealityCast. And also get over to Facebook, guys. Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Some great stuff on there. Some agreeing with us, some disagreeing with us. The main thing is, though, Dave, there is a movement. Casamorian, what was it? It's not just a movie, it's a way of life, I believe someone said, Dave, but it's not. So it's
brilliant.
Yeah, it is good, that. Very good. I was pissing myself like, it's just come that far. But anyway, brilliant. Big thanks to everyone. Our roll call of honour for today is Megan, Kate, Annabeth, Gavin, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe, Tom, Gillian, Michelle, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Neve, Jacqueline, Noreen, Amy, Joanna, Helen, Libby, Katie, Dee, Hannah, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy, Hayley, Lauren, Lucky Lily Green, and Ken Gustafson. Thank you so much, guys. And thanks, honestly, I mean that. The emails are great. You call us out, whatever you think, agree or disagree. That's what we're here for. And we talk about it. So brilliant stuff.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, sir. It's been great to speak to you again. Next one's going to be Wednesday, so it's hump day of the week. A few more episodes of this week, and then we'll have the dates and final, obviously, next week as well. So just 2 episodes, that Sunday and Monday, won't there? So we're almost there, Chris. Yeah. Almost at the finish line.
Amazing.
So, it's been brilliant. So it's been emotional, as Big Chris would say in Lockstock. So thank you very much, sir, and thanks to everyone out there for listening. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.